Hey everyone, my name is Bailey Large, and this video is being made for my class TPP 102 ICT at USC. This video is also being made for anyone who has an interest in game design engines, such as Unreal Engine 4. Today, I will be showing you how to use Unreal Engine 4 and the features it has to offer on a beginner-friendly level. Let's get started. Alright, so first of all we have the Epic Games Launcher that can be downloaded from the Epic Games website. When you have the Epic Games Launcher open, you will want to find yourself in the Unreal Engine tab on the left here, and from there, the library section on the top. Here, you will find your engine versions. Here, you will find your projects. Don't worry about this section. If you are brand new to using Unreal Engine, you won't have any projects. For me, I've already tried a few, so I have mine here. And on the bottom here is your Vault section. This is where you can find all the cool things that the community has made in the marketplace section on the top that you can add to your own projects. To begin your very own project, you're going to want to click launch either at the top right here, or you can click launch underneath engine versions. Once you've done that, you'll get a window that looks something like this. Now, today we're going to be covering games, so we'll click games, hit next, and we'll get something that will look like this. Now in this section, this is where you can find all the already formed templates for the games we can create, provided by Unreal Engine. For today, we're going to want to click on third person and next. In this section, in the project settings, we're going to leave it exactly how it is, except for the starter content, which we're going to make sure we start with the starter content, and then you can name your project here, you can send it to any folder you want, and once you've done that, we're going to click create project. Now, I have already created a project here, and this is where we'll begin. Alright, so now that we're in here, we have all of our sections along the top, our sections on the right, and what's going on down here. So first things first is we can save our level, we can change our mode to maybe be the landscape, but currently we're in select, which allows us to change all this, move things, and just rebuild what has already been provided. Next is the content marketplace section, which is similar to what we showed in the vault. We have our settings where we can change our project settings and also the world. We can also add plugins, such as maybe it will change the lighting and just all sorts of cool things. Next we have our blueprints, which we can open the level blueprint to code in some things, or we can create a new blueprint class, or even open one. Next we have the cinematics tab, which we won't worry about. We have the build tab, which when we have a message such as this one, we can go into the build tab, click build lighting only, and it'll fix it, and we'll also change the lighting. We have the play tab, which we're currently in selective viewport, but you can change it to be any way you want to be for your game. We'll stay with this one for this video, and when we click play, we get this, where you're going to right click in, and you can move around, jump around, and explore. And the next bit is the launch tab, where when you've finished your game, you can launch it. To move around, you're going to want to hold right click, and press W, A, S, or D, or maybe all four at the same time if you're feeling like it. To move around, move the mouse around as well, so you can change where you're looking. And you can also move things around by clicking on them, moving the arrows any way you want. You can press E to rotate them. You can press R to scale them. And press W to start moving it again. On the right here we have all these tabs, or not tabs, but all of our blueprints, with things such as folders to organize them in. Now, they've kindly organised all these walls and this floor into one for us, and done the same thing similarly for all these. And especially for lighting, such as this one, and we also have this one, the sphere reflection capture, which will allow light to be properly produced. Now once we're here, down here we have the content, which has already been provided for us, and has this tab here, which is our blueprints and maps. But we're going to right click, new folder, and we're going to call this new underscore folder. We're going to double click into it. We're going to right click again, and we also have this section here where we can import things from other programs, but we're not going to worry about that. We have this one, which is the big one, where we can change blueprint classes, we can create new levels, and we can make different colors. For this video, we're going to be covering blueprint class. So, once we're in here, we have the hierarchy of things, starting from actor all the way down to scene component. Think of it as the actor is number 1, pawn is number 2, character is number 3, and so on. So first things first, we're going to click actor. We're not going to worry about the name, but if you feel like changing at any time, click it, press F2, and name it to whatever you want. So we're going to double click into it, and we're going to get this tab. So what I like to do is just click it, drag it, and bring it up here so it's its own separate thing. While we're in here, we have this big grid of nothing. We're going to click add component, and we're going to scroll all the way down to basic shapes, and we're going to pick the cube. Once in here, you just have this really bland, boring white cube. You can change this cube to be any way you want, to be maybe facing that way, or maybe you'll make it big, like that. Or if you don't like any of these changes, hit the arrows. You can also change what the actual mesh is, so maybe we'll change this to a couch. And we've got a couch now. This is the color of it that wraps around it. Now, they don't have couch. Instead, they have chair. So we're going to put a chair on it. Now it looks like a proper chair. You could want to click compile up here, go back to your map, come down here and drag it in. And now you can see it's in. We'll click play. Except we have a problem. We run through it. Now, not every object has this problem like this, or even this. To fix this problem, we're going to go here. We're going to go back to static mesh, click down here, click on edit, come in here, and we're going to click the collision tab. And once we've clicked the collision tab, we're going to click add box, simplify collision, and we're going to get this tiny little box as our collision. If you want, you can actually change it to be like this, or either way you want. You can change also the rotation of it and the scale of it. Now, collisions are a little bit more not friendly when it comes to scaling size, because they'll go from that to nothing in a span of a moment. So, we're going to leave it like that. You can also add multiple if you really want. Click save, come here, don't need to compile because it's got that tick, come back to the map, click play, and we have a chair we can touch, but it's float above. Now, we're going to go cover modes. More importantly, the landscape option. Once we're in here, we have this huge green grid that we can move around to fit what we want. So maybe we'll just make it just under this. Now, to the left here, we can create a new import. We're going to create a new. We're going to add a material. So maybe for this one, we might want to make it a huge basic floor. Oh no, we're going to change it to, let's see, do we have grass? We do have grass. And we're going to click fill world, which is going to fill out a little bit more and automatically change the settings in here. We're going to click create. And once it's done creating, we'll have this awesome big landscape that we can edit to our heart's content. Once we've done this, you get all these options along the top here. We have sculpt, which will let us build it up. Smooth, which will just make it a little bit nicer looking. Flatten, which is going to flatten all the land around it to be the same shape of where we started. We have our ramp choice, which we can click again, it automatically will show the elevation, hit enter, and we have a ramp. And we have all these other options. More importantly, the ones I like to play with are just these four. Once we've done that, we can go back to modes, hit select, and we'll come back here so we can change everything again. rather than being stuck in that. One more thing that I want to cover is the level section. You can create levels in here. We'll just leave it new world. We'll double click it. We'll save what's going on in this world, and once it's done saving, it'll bring us here, and this is our new level. Now everything's really dark, so we're not going to really worry about this at the moment. But that will conclude this tutorial. I hope you learnt something new and you enjoyed this. I hope that by the end of this video, you're confident in being able to create blueprint classes, how to change your blueprint to match what you want, and also how to use the landscape option to make something cool. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Just on a side note, before we go actually, if you are thinking, oh no, I'm stuck in here now, what you'll want to do is go back to third person, click on the maps, which is the map they've provided, and we'll click on the third person example map, which will load us back in here. Now you don't have to be stuck. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.